Welcome back, everyone, to Morning Line on this Tuesday. It's our final segment with our guests this morning from the Davidson County Election Commission, Jeff Roberts and Joe Nixon. Good to have them on. They really know their stuff. Not just for Metro, though. Many of you watching outside this county, what we're talking about here, based on state guidelines, applies to all of you. And we do hope you get out and vote come Election Day, or certainly early voting, which again starts, as we said, on the 19th, Wednesday the 19th of this month. Not too far from now. You have till the 11th to register to vote, so get out and do it. Let's go to Tony. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Hey, Tony.
Sometimes you get on that kind of act smug. Back in 2011, I registered to vote for a council in this District 5 here. And I had all the signatures on it. I went house to house, door to door. You know, people was kind of paranoid because the councilman at that time, she was in a lot of stuff, Miss Mary. So I turned all the paperwork in down there. They didn't even verify all the signatures or all the phone numbers. They said, look like there are a lot of them out of the district. We're not even going to bother to verify them so I could have enough signatures and stuff on the petition to run for it.
Oh, so you were wanting to run for the council, and you got signatures together, but turned them in and they didn't verify them, you say?
They didn't. They said they refused to do it because someone was out, a few of them, and out of the district, so they wasn't going to verify none of the rest of them. And I felt like that was discrimination, and I felt like those people up there, they ain't truthful about nothing they saying. Now we got a crooked councilman and that same thing we had before. I should have been on the ballot, at least be able to express my First Amendment rights, and these people did not do it. So, and they slammed the window on me down there, and they refused to talk to me or sit down and discuss the paperwork.
When was that? Back in when?
2011 to council district.
Okay, well that was a while ago, and I don't know what he's specifically referring to, but
I don't know.
You guys, and he's probably upset with how that didn't play out, so he was expressing that. But yeah, when there are, be it council, are you the ones that have to certify signatures and things like this?
Yes.
When you guys do that, is it basically calling to confirm?
No. We get the petition from the candidate, and we just look up each voter, their name, make sure they're in the right precinct. And then their signature. We look at their signature. We don't
kind of compare.
Right. We have to compare signatures on petitions.
Okay.
We don't call voters.
I mean, just
for any purposes on a nominating petition.
Oh, okay.
The voter puts that information on the petition, and all we're doing is verifying that that's the signature, that's the address, information on it.
It's interesting, just when you said that about calling voters, and with some of the crazy scams I've been hearing lately from Social Security scams and Sheriff's Department scams, have there been any efforts, to your knowledge ever, of anyone misrepresenting themselves as the election commissioner to be calling or trying to influence? Have you ever heard of anything like that? Nothing. I hope not, but I don't know.
I mean, outside of voters wanting to be on the do not call register, I think they think that because it's a campaign that stipulates them to be on the do not call registry. But campaigns have a right to call you.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, we need to be clear on that.
We get that question very often.
So meaning that, I prefer not to get these calls from but that's something that's clear on that.
Right. They have the freedom of speech campaigns. Yes.
I get a few of those calls. If you don't like it, just hang up. But of course, if you're running from the dinner table to pick up the phone, that's a drag, right? I was wondering, we talk about provisional ballots, we talk about early voting, talked about that individual's elderly grandmother. What about those in the service, military, that are maybe overseas? They get their ballots there?
Correct.
That's a absentee ballot, right?
Yes, that's right.
How do you qualify, or how do you go about getting an absentee ballot? Service members, I assume it's provided to them, they know how to go about doing that. But if for some reason I suddenly had to leave the country for something, how do you go about doing that? Getting an absentee ballot?
Well, you just need to call our office.
Say, I'm leaving, I'm going to Europe, I'm going to be gone.
Right. And then they will instruct you on what to do to get an absentee ballot. So you just need to call your county of residence, your county election commission, and tell them what you're looking to do, and then we, as far as in Davidson County, we will have a staff person address your instructions on how to get the ballot.
If you feel comfortable doing it on your own, go online. All of that information's there. You can download the form to fill out to send to us, and you're ready to go.
Okay. Well, this is our final segment. Was there anything that we didn't touch on? Maybe I know you got some notes there that maybe you want to throw out before we recap some of the basics again for folks. But anything else you want to touch on?
I would say the voter checkup between now and October the 11th. Make sure you're registered.
Okay.
Make sure your address is correct, and make sure your registration's active. If you haven't voted in a number of years, that could be key, and you may need to re-register. But it's easy to do. Local library, post office. Get the form online. Just get it to us before the 11th.
Yeah, if you think you haven't voted for a while and you haven't,
When in doubt, just fill it out.
Just go and fill it out anyway.
Yes.
I mean, if you are legitimately still
Right,
registered and you fill it out, it's not a big deal.
No, it's
Right.
not. It's
No.
not.
A lot of
Okay,
people
good.
think that registration is lifelong,
Yeah.
and it's not. If you haven't been active in a number of years, you could have been removed as part of our cleanup on the rolls.
Yeah.
Because we sent you something and you didn't respond back.
Yeah, they may have
we think
left.
you've moved,
Yeah.
and in reality you haven't. So
So-
do that checkup. That's extremely important.
All right, yeah. Current information, if you've moved within the county or changed your name, update your card. Now, if you've moved out of county or into the state from another state, you're not registered here. You've
That's
got to
correct.
get it going. And again, just hit that deadline again. Tuesday, October 11th is the deadline for getting it done. If
Right.
you don't do it by then, you show up to vote, they're not going to let you vote.
That's correct.
And it's not like, oh, I'm an American, I have a right to vote. No, it's because you blew it and didn't go at 11 and by the 11th to register. You got to do certain things and take responsibility for that.
Right.
Again, then looking at all these precincts, you said 12 early voting
Davidson.
locations
Right.
in Davidson County. And they start on October 19th. And as Taylor said, the last day is Thursday, November 3rd for early voting. And that last day is probably as busy as
It will
any
be
other, right?
crowded.
Your
Yeah.
first day and your last day are you busiest.
The busiest, but
Right.
go in the middle, and you hopefully you won't have a big line along those. Is there any other? As you guys go into this, and you've been doing this for a while, what's your biggest fear election day? What could be the biggest snafu? Is there anything? I know you prepare for everything, and maybe there's nothing, but what would be a headache
Are we on the air?
on the air? What do you mean?
I mean, election day, there are no perfect election days. There's things do happen on election days. So
Sure, because so much.
I mean, we've had power outages and all
Yeah.
of those type of things. We try to plan for that.
Right.
But we hope the public will recognize a lot of people are going to want to vote. You could have to stand in line a little while, but exercise that right. Get
Yeah.
out and vote.
Yeah, exercise the right, and if there's a line, you're not going to close the door.
no, as
before
long as
you
you're in
get
line by 7, you will be waited on.
Yeah, there'll be a cutoff point after 7. If you
Right.
show up
Yes.
late,
And-
then that's the way it goes.
Right, and our officials do know that how to do that. Vote people past 7 o'clock if they're inside the precinct.
Okay, good.
So they're well-trained poll workers.
Yeah.
They're very well-trained poll workers.
Yeah, that's great. And how many? An army of them, right? What are we talking? How many
We're
poll workers? Are you
About
training?
1,600.
1,600.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
1,600 poll workers. And again, if you want to find out more information, go to Go Vote Tennessee app, right? You were talking
Yes, it's
about
a
that.
great app.
That is
Go
a really
Vote
good,
TN.
I'm going to get
Go
that. I
Vote
don't have that.
TN.
I'm going to get that.
Right.
So
It's
it's
a-
Go Vote TN, and then the website is just www.national.gov/vote, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
And we had the number up, and I'll put it on again at the very end of the show after I say goodbye to the two of you. But we have the number also for your office and the polling place there. There it is, actually. It's 862-8800, and bring your ID. I guess we got it all covered. You guys ready to go?
Yeah.
Is this?
We hope the voters are ready to go.
Yeah, I hope there's just a big turnout. This is what you guys work for. This is what it's
That's
all
right.
The
about.
Super Bowl
This
of
is the Super Bowl.
elections.
Get it fired up. Well, I hope it goes
That's
well
right.
in Davidson County and, of course, everywhere else across state. And a lot of people, however you choose to vote, turn out and vote. And if you choose you don't want to vote in a certain race, doesn't mean you can't vote on the other.
That's right.
That's
other
true.
things. There's
There
all
are
kinds
things
of
on the
things.
ballot outside of the office,
Yeah.
out of the
Yeah,
office of
if you
president.
choose, I don't want to vote president, you can do something else, or just you get there, you vote whatever you want, and you can leave whatever you want blank. So, thank you both for coming on.
Sure.
A pleasure. We'll
Thank you,
see
Nick.
you, and the media will be there helping you out on election day. I appreciate you both coming on.
All right,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Take
you.
a break. Be back with a programming note, and I'll give you that number again right after this. Everyone, stay with us.